Shalom everyone and welcome back. This is the Victorinox Swiss Army Knife Sportsman, one of my personal favorite models from Victorinox. If you've never had a Victorinox Swiss Army Knife before, if you're looking to get a new one or a first one, this might not be a bad choice for you. There is one tool that is missing from this specific knife to make it the perfect Victorinox Swiss Army knife for me, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, let's just go over the tools real quick. So, I have everything opened up with the exceptions of two things that you do not get when you buy the Sportsman. The first thing is this clip right here. This is a deep carry suspension clip that I put on all of my Victorinox Swiss Army knives that I carry. And this is a Swiss Army knife that I carry. I've actually been carrying this for just over a year now, on and off, not every day, but we'll get to that in a minute. So the first thing that you do not get when you purchase a Sportsman is this deep carry pocket clip, and the second thing is this tiny micro screwdriver that is perfect for jewelers or sunglasses or eyeglasses or watch repairs or just scraping tiny surfaces like the earpiece on your phone. So you do not get that tiny micro screwdriver when you purchase the Victorinox Sportsman. And it goes right here. I purchased that separately, but for the purposes of this video, we're just gonna set this aside. So let's quickly go over the tools that you do get with the Sportsman. The first is obviously the blade, and you can see here the stamp from Victorinox. Let's just try and focus on that. Come on, focus. There we go, Victorinox Swiss made stainless. We're gonna take a look at the back side of the blade. It says Officer Swiss right here. So the first tool is obviously your blade, and this is a smaller knife. This is an 84 millimeter version Victorinox Swiss Army knife, as opposed to the more conventional 91 millimeters, which are the Climber, for example. So you have the Climber right here in silver translucent scales. So this is a 91 millimeter. If we compare them side by side, you can see the differences. You see they both have this suspension clip. Anyways, going back to the size, we'll try to put them against each other right here, head to toe. So on the left is the Sportsman, which is an 84 millimeter version. On the right is a Climber, which is a 91 millimeter version of the Victorinox Swiss Army knife. This is a 3-layer knife. This is a 2-layer knife, which we are about to go over all the different tools. So we talked about the blade, stainless steel blade, like all of the Victorinox Swiss Army knives. The second tool right here is the nail file. You can see the nail file right here with the tip, the pointy tip to get underneath your nails and get those cleaned out. I'm freshly trimmed right now, so I don't have, except for this one, I don't have any nails to show, but this is a fantastic nail file. It is used, like you can see right here. It's been loved, it's been used. I've been carrying this for over a year, and I've been using this nail file for more than just cleaning my nails and trim up and tidy up my nails. I've been using this tip to do and undo Phillips screws, and I've been using the bottle cap lifter slash flathead screwdriver slash light duty pry bar to do and undo screws. So you can see it comes to a very fine tip right here. If we can focus on that, you can see that the cap lifter, try to do it this way. You can see that the cap lifter comes up to a very nice swedge at the end, which helps it to do and undo flathead screws. So this is this side. You have the wire stripping notch right here. You have a bottle cap lifter right here, which works fantastically. And I do drink a lot of beer and I do open a lot of bottles, so I use this to do that. The other end is the can opener, which I've never used, And at the end of the can opener, you have a very small 3mm flathead screwdriver or a one-dimensional Phillips screwdriver. This works, trust me. If you haven't tried one out, go ahead and give it a shot. You'll be surprised at how well these perform as a Phillips screwdriver. And furthermore, go ahead and try to use the can opener as a package opener when you get a box from Amazon, or you just get a package you need to open, give it a shot if you're not using it as a can opener, or even if you are using it as a can opener. I don't. I haven't seen a can of food of some sort, like soup or tomatoes or just, whatever, just a can of something that doesn't come with a pull tab for about 2 decades now. So I've never used this to open a can. However, I did use this to open packages that I get, like from Amazon and AliExpress and such. So give it a shot. You'll be surprised. This has a very, very sharp tip right here. Not tip, but sharp edge alongside the tool itself. So you can see on the back, trimmed very, very thinly. If we can bring it up here and try to see can we? We got it. Come on, focus. There we go. So you can see the edge, very, very thin, and it comes to a nice, it won't cut you, I don't think, although I did get a small cut here, but it's not from that. It won't cut you, but it will cut open packages. So that's what you get with the can opener. Now, moving on to the back, you got a couple of tools. This is obviously the corkscrew, and next to that is the punch-all reamer, which also serves as a package opener. It comes to a very sharp edge right here. So if we can just, there we go, you can see the reflection of the light. It has kind of a channel right there. And if we continue to rotate, you can see that it comes to a very, very sharp edge right here. So you can use both this and the can opener to open packages, but you can use this to also punch holes in leather. You can start a hole in wood if you need to, do some bushcrafting or whatever. And you can sew with this. You have a sewing eye right here that you can sew leather with this. And you also have the corkscrew that you can obviously use to open up wine bottles, but you can also use the corkscrew to undo very tight knots. If you're dealing with paracord and such, you can use that. And I just go ahead and throw the micro screwdriver on all Victorinox Swiss Army knives that has the corkscrew on the back, because they are extremely useful to have when you carry a Swiss Army knife that has a corkscrew on the back. You can also get a Swiss Army knife that has a Phillips screwdriver on the back, like this one. So instead of the corkscrew, but I prefer the corkscrews because you can honestly turn Phillips screws just fine using the tip of the can opener. So that's the reason I prefer the corkscrews. That way I get both a wine opener and I get to carry that cute little micro screwdriver. And my wife does wear glasses, so sometimes we use that. But I also use that to clean up gunk from the earpiece on my phone. And you should try, because the earpiece get gummed up and then you're not hearing the other side very clearly. So sometimes it's because of that. Anyways, let's close up all the tools and take a look at the knife in whole. So this is the Sportsman. This is one of my most favorite models from Victorinox. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're familiar with the Cadet that I have right here, so essentially the Sportsman is the Cadet. It kind of has the Cadet tool set, except for the extra tools on the back, because the Cadet doesn't have any tools on the back. It's just flat, but it is kind of flat and thin. So you do get that. You get the thinness and the slimness of the Cadet, So if that's important to you, go ahead and pick up a Cadet, which comes in the ALOX version. I just happen to have the red one, but I also happen to have an old one. So you get the older nail file, and we're going to compare these two in a second here. Let's just open up the nail file on the Sportsman so you can see exactly the differences I'm referring to. So you can see the two different approaches here. You have more of a sandpaper, diamond-like surface on the older Cadet. The newer Cadets, I believe 2018 or 2019 and up, you get the newer version, which is the version on the Sportsman. But the older version of the Victorinox Cadets, which is what I have here, comes with the diamond file surface. They both have, obviously, the tip at the top, which also serves as a very light-duty Phillips screwdriver. I prefer the nail file on the Sportsman. It's more versatile in my opinion, and it also goes all the way up to the edges of the tool. If we can focus on that for a second, there you go. So you can see it comes all the way to the edges of the tool, which gives you a lot more surface to work with, but it also feels sturdier, so you can use this for more than just nails. You can use it to round up different, like if you get like a plastic toy or something that has like the leftovers from the molding at the factory, you can use this to smoothen out edges, and you can use this to smoothen out basically anything that comes with a rough edge that you pick up, and which I wouldn't be inclined to do with this style of nail file. This feels much more aimed for nails, for fingernails, rather than an all-purpose nail file right here that could be used for much more. It's also, I think it is a bit thicker. Let's try and see. No, actually the Cadet seems to be a bit thicker. Now that I'm taking a look at it. Is it? Let me know down in the comment section below which one seems thicker to you guys. The Cadet is on the right, the Sportsman is on the left, and now I'm noticing that the Cadet is slightly longer, just by a hair longer than the nail file on the Sportsman. Nonetheless, you still get more filing surface on the Sportsman, and I prefer this version. So if you're a fan of the Cadet, but you're kind of feeling like you're missing some tools, like you want the back tools, you want the corkscrew, you want the micro screwdriver, you want the all punch, and most importantly, you want the scale tools, because the Sportsman does come with the Victorinox scale tools. These tweezers are amazing. They work like a charm. You wouldn't believe how capable these tiny tweezers are. If you need to pluck out a single hair, I have a beard, so I use these to pluck out wild hairs that goes out of control on my beard, so I use these. And you can use these to extract like a sliver or something, and they go right here. Next to, on the other side of that, you get the toothpick, which I do use. Ooh, gross, I know. You guys don't like it when people say they use the toothpick on their Swiss Army knives, but I do, and look at it. It's clean because I clean my toothpick once I'm done using it. You use your toothpick, you clean it up, and you put it back where it belongs, which is right there. So for those reasons, I prefer carrying the Sportsman, because it's true that it's not as slim as the Cadet. You can obviously tell right there that the Cadet is much slimmer, but it's not thick. It's not a thick tool. It's not a thick knife to be carrying in your pocket. If you compare it to like a 3-layer or even a 4-layer knife from Victorinox. So I'm just going to pull up the Climber and the Explorer right here. So these two are obviously 91 millimeters, so they're longer, but they're also thicker. If we can stack them up one on top of another, and flip it kind of sideways so you guys can see the thickness. So you got the Sportsman on top. You can obviously tell it's a very slim knife compared to the Climber you got in the middle there, and the Explorer you got on the bottom row. So it is a thinner knife. It's just not as thin as the Cadet, which is right here. So I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your thoughts. Which one do you prefer and why? That's the most important question, I think. More important than which one. I think I want to hear why would you prefer one over the other. Is it just the thickness? Like the slimness, I should say? Is it just the slimness for you guys of the Cadet that makes it so popular? Or is it something else, like the rigidity of the scales? Because these are obviously aluminum scales and these are plastic Celidor scales, which can crack and, you know, scratch and stuff. Even though this doesn't look very scratched up, I have, oh yeah, when the light hits it just right, you can see the scratches and everything, because it has been riding in my pocket for over a year now. On and off, not exclusively. I do carry the Victorinox Compact quite often, which is also a 2-layer Victorinox that is 91 millimeter and also comes with a pair of scissors. So you can see the Compact on the right, the Sportsman on the left. We can do this to show you guys the difference in length. So the Compact is a 2-layer Victorinox, which comes with the scissors, which is the one thing that I'm missing from the Sportsman. So at the beginning of the video, I said that there's one tool missing from the Sportsman to be the perfect Victorinox Swiss Army knife for me. And that tool is the scissors, because if you've ever handled scissors on the Swiss Army knife, on any Swiss Army knife, you know that these are perfect. These are the best pair of scissors on a multi-tool, period. You know, they're good. They're that good as a pair of scissors. And I do use these quite often. This is the reason that I still carry the Compact over the Sportsman. Sometimes carry the Compact over the Sportsman, and sometimes I prefer the Sportsman. Except for when I'm out shooting videos and I'm out on a job, which is when I carry my Deluxe Tinker. But that's for another topic, that's for another video. This is the one tool that I'm missing on the Sportsman to make it the perfect knife, because I do use the nail file on a weekly basis, sometimes twice a week. And like I said, not just on my nails, I use the nail file a lot. I prefer the Sportsman over the Compact for one reason only. On the Compact, you get the combo tool, which is a combination can opener, bottle opener, flathead screwdriver, and Phillips screwdriver. When you use the tip right here, it can be used as a Phillips screwdriver. But this is the one reason that I sometimes prefer to carry the Sportsman, because I do find myself, I don't carry a separate pry bar, and I do find myself using the flathead side of the knife, the bottle cap lifter, which has the flat screwdriver on top. I do find myself using that quite often, and this feels much more reliable and dependable and sturdier than the combo tool on the Compact. I use this to tighten up tripod plates on cameras that I work with. I need to put together for a shoot, and I need to then take it apart when I'm done. I am much more confident using this to tighten up and loosen up camera plates, tripod plates, as opposed to using this. This doesn't feel as sturdy. I don't feel like I can rely. It hasn't failed me yet, and I did use it. It's just the feel of it. I don't feel like I can trust it as much as I can trust this tool right here. So the combination of this tool right here and the, where'd you go? I don't have nails. I'm going to use this one. So the combination of the nail file and the bottle cap lifter, this is what makes the tool for me. This is what makes this knife worth carrying, and sometimes over the compact, which I really do like because it's such a small, thin knife, and it does incorporate the Victorinox scissors, which are phenomenal, but they're just not, it's just not enough for me to choose it as my daily driver forever and ever, because I do need the bottle cap lifter and I do use the nail file. Now, the compact has a nail file on the back. It's just a very slim version. It's on the back of the hook. So it does come with a nail file. This is the hook, which you also don't get on the Sportsman, but that's okay because I prefer having the punch all on the back. So you do have the hook. I just blacked out there for a second. I'm sorry about that. So you do have the hook, the all-purpose hook on the compact, and it does have the nail file on the back, which does work. It's just not as versatile as the one you get on the Sportsman right here. As far as surface goes, you know, you don't get much filing surface with this nail file, and you definitely can't use it for anything else other than your nail files, unlike the Sportsman, which you can use the nail file that it has to do all sorts of things, which we've talked about earlier. So that's it. That's all I've got to say on the Sportsman. One of my favorite tools from Victorinox. I've been carrying this for over a year now, and I'm going to continue carrying this. Now, Victorinox used to make a Sportsman that had the scissors. They just stopped many years ago. I can't remember the exact name of the model, but I'm going to try and find a picture from SacWiki and put it up on the screen somewhere so you guys can know which model I'm talking about. And if you do know where to find that model, the Sportsman with the scissors, please let me know. Please let me know down in the comment section below, or, you know, just send me a message, DM me or whatever, and tell me where can I find the Sportsman that has the scissors, because I would love to get my hands on that knife. This would be the knife that I carry in my pocket every day for the rest of time, because it's just the perfect Victorinox in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching this very long video on the Victorinox Sportsman. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram if that's your thing, and go ahead and ask me questions in the comment section below about this knife or any of the other Victorinox Swiss Army knives that I've shown here today. You have the climber right here. Let's put the shield up. Yep. And of course the Explorer, and earlier I showed the Deluxe Tinker. It's also here. I have other Victorinox knives, but these were the ones that I showed today in this video. If you have any questions regarding any of these, ask me in the comments section below, and don't forget to tell me which one you prefer, the Cadet or the Sportsman, and why. Why would you choose one over the other? Is it just the thickness or slimness, or just let me know. Let me know which one are you carrying. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Like this video if you enjoy the content. Give it a, you know, give the channel a follow or a subscribe if you're into that kind of content, so YouTube would know that you like EDC stuff and would show you more content that you might enjoy. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate your time. This has been a long video, and we are done. See you in the next one. Peace out.